Alright, konbanwa, good evening, thank you for joining me for another stream. I'm having some audio issues here, which I think I can solve pretty easily. Alright. That's it, right? Okay, there it is. Cool. So, for this episode of Ninja Subplays, we're going to be playing The Legend of Zelda 2 and some other games, if time permits and all, and if anybody engages me in the chat room and suggests a game. On the 151 game cartridge that I have for Nintendo Gameboy, and I'm going to display it on my screen via my Gamecube Gameboy adapter. So really cool gadget. I would highly recommend it to anybody. It's very fun to be able to play Game Boy games on a full screen TV with a controller and all that sort of thing. So, alright. Here we go. Hello everybody. Thank you for coming to hang out with me tonight. I do apologize for not being active for the past... Whoa, that's loud. I apologize for not being very active over the past few days. I had a very bad day yesterday. I'm not even going to get into details about that, but yeah. And then the other days, I just simply didn't have, I had time, but I was having technical issues, so I wanted to get that dealt with and under control before I tried to stream again. So, I think we got everything here good. Way too loud. Yeah, I was having issues with getting my games to display properly on my computer, and there is just no way I'm going to stream a game if the display sucks. You know, I mean, come on. People are watching me stream for what reasons? To watch me play games, to play games with me, and to interact with me while I'm playing games. So, I mean, I'm not going to do a stream with crummy... with crummy display. There's just no way that's going to happen. So the first one I'm going to fire up here is actually one of my favorite video games ever, let alone on Nintendo. That is The Legend of Zelda 2. I absolutely love Zelda 2. I can play this game all day, every day. It has incredible replay value. Very fun game. So I figured out what exactly is the deal with this 151 cartridge and why it was going blank on me. I am not 110% sure about this, but I think it is due to the fact that when you pause the game, it causes the game to crash. So I'm going to avoid pausing the game. It's a good thing that a lot of the games I play, I don't really need to pause them. Like, for example, you can see the Zelda 2 here. You don't really need to pause it. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So I can just stand there like that. Now take notice, when I did that, the game did not crash. Now, when I was pausing the game during some of my previous streams, and even when I'm playing this game on my Game Boy, and I'm not streaming, like if I'm at work on my break and, you know, I'm playing on my Game Boy, and I pause, it will crash. Now, one common complaint that I have heard about Zelda 2 is the difficulty. So, as far as the difficulty of this game goes, it works like this. Zelda 2 has a lot of RPG elements where you can level up, power up, things like that, in increments based on how much battle experience you have. So what you need to do is you just need to have the patience it takes to just simply power up, get yourself all souped up, and then go after the enemies, and this game really isn't that hard. So it is based on how much you are willing to power up. And of course you always get fairies available to you. They're always lingering around somewhere. Now, take notice as to how I just got offered a power-up for both my magic and for my life, but I have not taken them. The reason why is because I recommend to people who play this game, get your attack power up first. Attack power is the hardest one to level up, but it is the one that pays off the most. So I recommend people do that. Now, I'm going to attempt something that I wouldn't necessarily recommend people do, but I'm going to try it just to see. If I can make it past that bat, I should be alright. I'm trying to enter this cave a little prematurely. When I say that, what I mean is that I'm trying to enter this cave before I have the candle. Zelda's all about finding treasures and using those treasures to be able to navigate dungeons. So, this is going to be a little bit tricky, but I can do it. I have done it before. Ah! Okay, really not that big a deal. I lost a life here attempting to do this, but that's okay. Reason why is because with Zelda games, with the Zelda game, unless you were playing it on an emulator, the only way you can truly save this game is to die. You have to lose all your lives, and then you can go ahead and save the game. Now, again, if you're on an emulator, of course you can just save anywhere you want. That's the beauty of an emulator. Emulator games are cool in the sense that, you know, you can... I forgot about the enemy at the end there that throws the boomerangs. So you do have one of those. I'm going to power up a bit more before I even attempt it. So it wasn't a lack of wasn't even really necessarily lack of lighting that messed me up back there. It was the fact that I'm just not strong enough yet to be facing an enemy of that caliber. There we go. That's what you want. You want your power, your attack power up. Always want to put that as top priority, and you're seeing why. Look at that. Enemies that it took me 2 hits to kill, it takes me 1 hit. I'm still going to pass on all that. I'm going to just keep attacking enemies here. Okay, so these enemies right here that always dash at you, like these, they don't give you any kind of health power-ups. Or not health power-up. I mean, they don't give you any experience points for killing them, but they drop magic, and they drop experience point bags. So keep an eye on that. See right there. Very, very handy. They're easy to kill. You know, they only take 1 hit usually, even when you're on your lowest power level. But if you need power-ups and things of that sort for your magic and even your experience points, you can dabble around with these guys and you can so anybody who is take a look. Oh, wait, whoa. I know better than that. I'm not going to pause the game. I know what happens when you do that. I'm going to check out the chat here and see if anybody has engaged me. No? Alright, guys. Well, you know, I really wish somebody were to hit me on the chat. That would be really cool. I'd really like to hear what you guys have to say and what you'd like to recommend for me to play and all that nice stuff. So... Alright. Okay, guys, so again, I hope you all join me. Some peeps join me for the stream, and that you engage me in the chat. Not only is that okay, it's encouraged. Now, here we go. We're going to visit... Is this... Raru. Okay. I couldn't quite recall the name of this town. So, is this Error? If all else fails, use fire. Yep. This is the girl that restores your health. She is always awesome handy. And then she takes you down to her cellar, and she puts you inside of this, like, pit, and then she stands up over you and goes, It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. I'm just kidding. No, actually, no. You go down to her cellar here, and her father, who is a magician, a mage, he hooks you up with a magic spell. This is the shield spell, which is very handy. I will tell you up front. Now, as you guys have probably noticed, you don't really get a whole lot of experience points from killing the enemies that we've messed with so far. So that will probably leave a lot of you thinking, like, Mike, how do you power up in this game without it taking, 3 months? Well, I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to show you here a few minutes. One of the biggest ways I do it is I enter a palace. When I enter that said palace, I do a little hack here. I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Still not going to mess with any other type of power-up yet. Now, you guys have probably noticed, too, that my stream is a lot smoother, that my videos don't appear quite as choppy as they did before, and that I'm not having trouble timing my attacks. I'll give you a demonstration right here. See, the way I was doing it before, I couldn't do that. I mean, hell, I couldn't even jump in Mario properly. My goodness. So I found some ways to, get everything to run smoother. I hope everybody is enjoying it as much as I am. I like the fact that I can actually, sit and play my games without, wanting to pull my hair out. By the way, if anybody has not seen the new Scream movie, do yourself a huge favor and go see it. It is awesome. The new one that's in cinemas right now. It is the bomb. Okay, notice how I didn't engage the enemies back there. This is why. You honestly just need to get this and then go. Yeah, the new Scream is really good because it really connects a lot of the events from the previous films into a really, really cool sequel. Scream 3 will always be my favorite of the franchise, which really shocks a lot of people when I tell people that. Like, really, Scream 3, that was the one that was panned. Well, okay, I can't say it was panned, but it was usually the least favorite of the series, and a lot of critics claimed that Scream 3 basically started to embody everything that Scream poked fun at. But I don't see it that way. I see Scream 3 as like... I see it as a really cool sequel because there's an unexpected backstory that explains everything that happened in the first two movies, especially the first one. And it has an unexpected plot twist, but a good one. I'm not going to give too much away for anybody who hasn't seen it. I'm not going to do you that disservice. See it for yourself. And the main antagonist, the main villain in Scream 3, he not only caused all the events from the first two Scream movies to go down, but he also, in a roundabout kind of way, causes the events to happen in Scream 4 and 5. So he is like the top bad guy, who is either, the instigator of a lot of the events that happened or the direct cause. So it's a really good movie. And another thing about it that I really take a liking to is that Scream 3 really tapped on a lot of the darker side of Hollywood and how it can be in real life. That's another thing to keep in mind. Actually, there have been news articles covering that fact when the whole when different incidents in Hollywood have happened within the past 5 years. A lot of news journalists have said, "Oh, that's kind of like what they talked about in Scream 5." It's basically art imitating life, and then life imitating art. I guess more of art imitating life, I would say. So it's really neat in that aspect. You know, specifically that whole Harvey Weinstein thing. I'm not going to go into details about that, but it's really disturbing. It just shows how rotten and underhanded Hollywood can be, and Scream 3 really taps on a lot of that. It really taps on how, you know, how dark it can really be, you know. Okay, so for anybody who's like, what the heck are you doing? Well, I'm running low on health. I have taken a lot of hits. Jesus, that's embarrassing. So, and you know, getting back to the Hollywood thing, I mean, people should keep in mind, like, I'm a human behavior person. That was my major when I was in college. 3 out of 4 times that I've been to college, it was for human behavior or human behavior related fields. I'm just going to say it like this. When you get a shallow industry like Hollywood, right? And I'm sorry, but it is. It's oftentimes a very shallow industry. And you get guys who get into positions of power and authority, you know, and they are very wealthy and they just feel like they can just do anything they want. Then you're going to get these creeps who come out and just ignore the rules and ignore the law and just think they can do whatever the heck they want. And that's how that kind of stuff happens. They just start thinking that, you know, they're above the rules. And you get these a-holes who, you know, take advantage of people for one reason or another, and there you go. You know, my advice to people, since I tapped on the subject of people letting power go to their heads and They think they can just do whatever they want, treat people whatever way they want. You know, my advice to people is, look, no matter how wealthy or successful you become, keep your feet on the ground, respect others, you know, respect their boundaries, you know, understand that sometimes things just don't work out, you know, just, you know, be good to each other. And I know that may sound like kind of a Pollyanna thing to say, but it's very true, you know. In the end, it never really matters how much money you have. It just matters, you know, what principles you lived your life by. You know, that is a huge part of the Ninja Code. It is a big part of the Warrior Code in martial arts. It is a big part of what you're taught in Buddhism. It's just, you know, okay, if you've accrued wealth, if you've accrued strength, if you've accrued power, you know, never let it change who you are at your core. You know, and if it does change you, let it change you for the better. You know, just always, you know, always do right by others, whether you are obligated to or not. That's what I'm trying to say. Do they have enough of these guys running across the screen? I hate to break it, man. These guys are really annoying. My goodness. Okay, we get the point. Dashing at me with your little daggers out. Alright, so that little secret I was telling you about. The thing I do. I go into these palaces here. I fight these really strong just blew it. Okay, well, not entirely. It's okay because I can move over here, I can save, and then boom, there you go. That's how you have to save on a traditional Nintendo game. In a lot of cases, you can't just pull up, save anywhere you want, and hit save and go. That's not possible. So, old school Nintendo games, this is basically how you do it. Now, with a stage like this, losing a life is not a big deal. Nothing to panic about. But keep in mind, I said losing a life. Like that right there. Actually, that can kind of work in your favor if you want to save the game anytime soon. So I'm not going to worry about Skeletal Knight here getting a grab on me. I am... I'm going to say yes. I'm going to do it this time. Okay. For anybody looking at me funny. Alright, just remember there's a method to the madness here. These guys here take a lot of hits, so it takes a little bit of patience to deal with them. But as you can see, it's worth it because you get 50 experience points a pop for these guys. The Skeletal Knights, it's good to do like a hit run, as you saw me do. Okay, fairies inside of the palaces. Don't get used to that. It's not going to happen a whole lot. With the Dark Knights that I just fought, jump and slash as you go down. Excellent strategy for these guys. So, okay, here we go. I am still say no and just keep going. I'm going to equip the shield magic because I want to be careful here. I don't want to take any hits unnecessarily. I don't have a key. Okay. With these palaces, it's a lot of trial and error as to where you need to go next, unless you want to look up a map. And anybody who's familiar with my streams, they know I don't normally like to look stuff up unless I have to. So, I like to play the game as cleanly as possible. I'm definitely not a cheat if I can help it. I guess you could say instead of taking medications, I prefer the holistic approach, figuratively speaking. So I like to do it as far as games goes, naturally, if I can. But if it's getting to the point where I'm just taking way too long to figure out what to do next, or it's just too hair-pulling, I'll bust out a strategy guide. And as my viewers have noticed, I have not had any issues with the game crashing. That is because I have not left it on pause like I was before. I don't know what it is about that, but when you put the game on pause, at least with my copy of the 151 games, it will cause it to crash. Insane, but that's my fault there. My timing was off. Okay, look at this. Now, I'm going to have to say, for me, this is a first. I have never had 3 bubbles. That's what these enemies are called. They're called bubbles. Like you blow a bubble. I have never had 3 of them under my control like this at once during a barrage attack. Ever. So, there's a lot of firsts I have done for any games I've played while streaming. I don't know, maybe streaming brings me good luck? I don't know. Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. Okay. Now, there is going to be an experience point bag on this crumbling bridge. This bridge right here crumbles when you walk on it. So, A, watch it with that, and B, I wouldn't recommend doing what I'm about to do because it would probably get you killed. But I just did there. Probably not the best approach. But there it is. Whoa. Gotta be extra cautious when you approach the Cyclops here. Woo! See that? Really watch it. I don't want to die right now because I'm about to be able to power up my attack. Okay, well I have an extra life and now all my health is restored, so I'm going to equip shield. I'm going to reapproach this clown. Actually, no, he's not a Cyclops, as far as I know. He's actually a bull and a man put together. So he's like a Red Bull, except he doesn't have wings. He has little mace weapons he throws at you. He's like an evil Red Bull can. These guys here, this is called Dark Nut. He is a mainstay in the Zelda universe. He's becoming quite a pain in the butt here because Alright, so here we go, another crack at this. Yeah, I got it. Alright, I need to put you guys on hold just for a minute, please. Alright, welcome back, and lo and behold, it happened. Literally, as I took you guys off of intermission, the game crashed again. I don't really know what to say. That is really strange, because it has not been doing that. It only did that when I would pause the game. I didn't have the game on pause, you guys saw it. It's very strange. I didn't really lose any ground though, because I did save at a pretty good point. So... Great. I guess that bubble was suffering from some static cling. Try to get through him with the post-hit technique, but it didn't work. I'm gonna skip. I don't have the key. Alright. Okay, so, alright, I'm going to actually go ahead and end the stream here. Sorry I couldn't get any further than I did. I don't know, I can give it one more shot, I think. Okay, now with that in mind, I'm going to have to go ahead and end the stream, so I'm going to go over here, this. Alright. Sorry I have to cut it short, but I had to be up early tomorrow, so. There we go. Alright. Boys, Manasai, thank you for joining me and playing games with me. Take care.